Corporations are people, my friend.
I like being able to fire people who provide services to me.
I'm glad they're at Guantanamo. I don't want them on our soil. I want them in Guantanamo when they don't get the access to lawyers they get when they're on our soil. I don't want them in our prisons. I want them there. Some people have said we ought to close Guantanamo. My view is we ought to double Guantanamo.
When asked, do you follow NASCAR? His response was this.
Not as closely as some of the most ardent fans, but I have some great friends that are NASCAR team owners.
I'm not concerned about the very poor. We have a safety net there.
I drive a Mustang and a Chevy pickup truck. Ann drives a couple of Cadillacs, actually.
Thank you, Governor Romney. That raises the question, if you were President of the United States, would you need to go to Congress to get authorization to take military action against Iran's nuclear facilities?
You sit down with your attorneys and tell you what you have to do, but obviously the President of the United States has to do what's in the best interest of the United States to protect us.
I'm just saying, you were for individual mandates, my friend.
You know what? You've raised that before, Rick, and you're simply wrong.
It was true then.
No.
It's true now.
Rick, I'll tell you what. $10,000? $10,000 bet?
I'm not in the betting business.
Massachusetts law prohibits carrying an animal on top of a car, even in a kennel, as cruel and inhuman. Do you really think you did nothing wrong?
I wasn't familiar with that in terms of Massachusetts law. Love my dog. We've had a lot of dogs over the years. Love them. Seamus, as his name is, climbed up there all by himself, enjoyed his ride. And whether you're in the back of a pickup truck or in the rooftop carrier, it was a good ride. And all I can tell you is I didn't know that there was any problem with that in terms of the law. And he was a good friend of the family. We love our pets.
Well, I think I should also tell my story. I'm also unemployed.
I have muscular dystrophy. That's completely against my DNA.
I'm sorry to hear that.
My question for you is, will you arrest me and my doctors if I get medical marijuana prescribed?
I'm not in favor of medical marijuana being
So will you have me arrested?
How are you?
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Will you please answer my question?
Will you have? Wait, are you not going to answer his question, Governor?
I think I have. I'm not.
No, he asked you if you were going to arrest. He asked if you were going to arrest patients like him, Governor.
So we went to the company and we said, look, you can't have any illegals working on our property. I'm running for office, for Pete's sake. I can't have illegals.
I should love this state. It just feels good being back in Michigan. You know, the trees are the right height.
The trees are the right height.
I know what it's like to worry whether you're going to get fired. There were a couple of times I wondered whether I was going to get a pink slip.
Who let the dogs out? Who?
I think people understand that I'm a man of steadiness.
But as a nation, we recognize the right of all people to believe as they want, and not to impose our beliefs on other people.
There should be a national standard, and my own view is that marriage is a relationship between a man and a woman.
I believe that abortion should be safe and legal in this country.
I will preserve and protect a woman's right to choose.
And my personal beliefs, like the personal beliefs of other people, should not be brought into a political campaign.
And that I'm firmly pro-life.
But we will not force our beliefs on others on that matter. And you will not see me wavering on that.
What I'd like to do is to see Roe v. Wade overturned.
Many years ago, I changed from being pro-choice to pro-life. I'm pleased with having been a solid pro-life governor.
I don't think I've ever hired an illegal in my life. We hired a lawn company to mow our lawn. And they had illegal immigrants that were working there.
I'm not willing to sit back and say, too bad for Michigan, too bad for the car industry.
That's exactly what I said. Let Detroit go bankrupt.
I'm trying to be as accurate as I can be, if you look at the literature or look at the dictionary, the term saw includes being aware of in the sense I've described. It's a figure of speech and very familiar, and it's very common. And I saw my dad march with Martin Luther King. I did not see it with my own eyes, but I saw him in the sense of being aware of his participation in that great effort.
Rubio is being debated, I believe, later this week, that deals with banning or allowing employers to ban providing female contraception. Have you taken a position on it? He's said he was for that, and we'll talk about personhood in a second, but he's for that. Have you taken a position on it?
I'm not for the...
I didn't understand his question. Of course I support the Blunt Amendment. I thought he was talking about some state law that prevented people from getting contraception. I thought it was some Ohio legislation where employers were prevented from providing contraceptives. And so I talked about contraceptives and so forth. So I really misunderstood the question.
I believe, based on what I read, that the world is getting warmer. And number two, I believe that humans contribute to that.
So the idea of America spending massive amounts, trillions of dollars to somehow stop global warming is not a great idea.
And so I think it's important for us to reduce our emissions of pollutants and greenhouse gases that may well be significant contributors to the climate change and the global warming that you're seeing.
Able to put in place a plan that helped get health insurance premiums down and gets all of our citizens insured. If we can do that nationally, we help not only Michigan and the auto industry, but the entire nation. And I said, no, this is something that was crafted for Massachusetts. It would be wrong to adopt this as a nation.